when he writes raps, he turns the paper around. He just writes in circles.
Oh, really?
He turns it. And when he reads it, he turns it back the opposite way and starts to read it. Huh. When we were using, paper, I don't know his recording process these days.
Yeah.
Working with him made me look at the business different, because he was the first artist that I worked with that actually treated the business like a real job. Like, he comes in at 9 a.m. every day to the studio, takes his lunch break at 1, and is out of there by 5 p.m. Because when the first day I came around 6. I'm expecting, okay, we're gonna do an evening session. I get to the studio, oh, M just left. I was like, yo, M, where you at? He said, I'm out here. I said, well, I'm at the studio, I just got here. You coming back? He said, I'll be back there at 9 a.m. So
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm clocked out. I'm done.
Yeah, like literally, I'm clocked out. Like, I felt like you joking, right? He said, no, I'm serious. I see you at 9. You gonna get up early? I said, yeah, I gotta be there. So I get there at 9, and he shows up on time. Plays some beats, we robbing, we rocking. So I'm in the middle of writing the record. He's like, yo, I'm about to go out for lunch. I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna meet you after. He said, you're not gonna take no lunch? I said, no, I'm not hungry, I just wanna work. He said, all right, cool. He goes, takes lunch, hour come back, he's back, what we got? I play him the record, play him the chorus, he said, oh, this is it, boom. He goes into his verse, 5 o'clock come, he's halfway in. He's like, all right, bro, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. So at this point, I'm like, yo, but your verse almost done, you ain't gonna finish it? No, I'll finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, he finishes it out.
Wow.
So, and I asked him, I was like, yo, like, what's up with the work ethic? He said, nah, man, it's just, I just like to be here. I treat it like a real job. I don't make it no more than what it's supposed to be. I don't allow it to stress me out, stay longer than I have to. I got a family, I got a daughter, I want to spend time with her, like, I want to make time. And I stopped and I said, damn, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran said that after recording and sending his vocals for the song River to Eminem, he didn't hear anything back for months, until suddenly finding out the song had made the album.
And I get an email from Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager, and he said, we're going to start putting the album together. Send any ideas. In the back of my head, always been like, if I ever worked with Eminem, I would do. So I had a very clear thing in my head of what I wanted to do. So I used the studio at Russell's house and made this, like, I played the drums on it and then played the guitar and then recorded the thing and wrote the chorus and did the piano on it and then sent it off and then didn't hear anything back. This was like March 2016, and then like May 2017, I was in Mexico, and my mate Emil, who produces a lot for Eminem, is like, "Oh, I've done some drums and stuff on the River song that you wrote," and I was like, "Oh, cool. Are you going to send it to him?" And he's like, "Oh no, he's done his verses," and I was like, "What? Let's fly down to Mexico now." So like he flew down to Mexico. We like tweaked with it a bit more. I heard the song, and got to meet Eminem in Detroit when I played there. He's such a sweet, talented guy, and yeah, like this is the thing, like. Again, it's a door that I thought was closed and just opened randomly.
50 Cent said that he, Ed Sheeran, and Eminem all recorded Remember the Name separately, never sharing the studio together.
So you released a song over the summer, right?
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, me, Ed Sheeran, and Eminem. Yeah.
So you've collaborated before or no?
But me and Ed, that was the first time. And well, actually, I went to London to the finale of his tour. Mm-hmm. So I came out as a surprise guest for the last 2 shows, and him and Ed was planning on collaborating, and I was there. I just was there.
You just happened to be there.
Yeah, and then I was like, yo, and then Ed was like, yeah, we should do it together. And then was like, what happened? How did he get on the song?
That's amazing. I love that.
Now, were all of you in the same place to record it, or were you in different places, different times?
We were in different places because, Ed recorded his portion of it first. Right. And then he sent it to, cause when you have the chorus area, then you kind of got the bulk of the record. So he recorded his part in the chorus, and then he sent it to M. And then M sent it to me without his verse, so I had no idea what he said.
Legendary producer Scott Storch recalled working with Eminem as a memorable experience and said he always thought Eminem was funny.
He got a lot more serious over the years, but like, yeah, he's just funny, dude. Like, super cool. Eats Taco Bell every day, literally every day. Yeah, he's a cool guy. He used to come to the house and make beats with me. He's such a, like, Like the things that make me laugh that stand out with Eminem. Like I remember Dre walking in the studio, and I just happened to be in the room with M, and M was adding. The album was done, and he was adding sound effects, like actual sound effects, like things that related to his lyric, like if it's a gunshot or something drop, whatever it is. He was like, a glass cracking, whatever it is. Like he was just doing that, and I remember Dre being like, "Yo, enough of them mother sound effects, man. It's done." But he's like a mad scientist. He's like really involved. He's not just a rapper. He's like producing the album.
Young Buck spoke about working with Eminem in the studio, saying he makes rapping look effortless and expressing deep respect for his talent and work ethic.
Em is one of them motherfuckers where it's like, man, listen. He could be rapping and then the next thing to see a motherfucker producing and rapping and doing it all at once and making it, and then you get to hear the shit that he's saying and doing. It's like, man, who the is this? Is this God himself rapping like this? Like, it's just, this shit ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Some people might make it look easy, but it's not. He wanna make this shit look easy while he doing this shit. So yeah, I always give Em and Dre they props, you know what I mean? But
the song with Eminem, were you guys in the studio when that came together?
I went to 8 Mile and went to Detroit, and I stayed out there for about a week, and we did the song out there.
How was that experience?
Watching Eminem record and his whole recording process, that might have been one of the highlights of my career, because I don't know if you want to call it weird or legendary or some Einstein type of shit, evil genius type of shit, but M is a very, very complex and different individual, and in good ways. When he writes raps, he turns the paper around. He just writes in circles.
Oh, really?
He turns it. And when he reads it, he turns it back the opposite way and starts to read it. Huh. When we were using paper, I don't know his recording process these days. He also, back in those days, man, Eminem would just eat Taco Bell and drink Mountain Dew like it was like, I don't know, man. But that process was dope. I'm forever grateful for being able to experience prime Eminem in his essence in Detroit. That's one of the highlights of my career.
Redman flew to Detroit to record a song with Eminem for the Nutty Professor soundtrack.
I don't know, they needed a song, and Eminem was bananas at the time, and I was bananas at the time, and they just said, yo, we got to get these two together. And I went out to Detroit, and I sat in the studio with M, and it was just like a tornado in that of brainstorming, because we sat down and wrote the rhymes right there, and we was just brainstorming, and then when we finished the brainstorming, then it was time to lay the shit, and it was nuts. We was going at it. We was definitely going at it.
Legendary producer Rick Rubin described working with Eminem in the studio as intense but inspiring, praising his focus and creativity.
Eminem he's always writing in a book, always writing all the time. And he's always got notebooks writing. And I asked him, it's like, are these all, rhymes to use? He's like, no. It's like 99% of what I write I'll never use, just to stay engaged in the process of writing and finding new ways to write so that it just, when I need it, it just comes.
First time you ever remember like meeting M in the studio?
But I think the first time I actually worked with Eminem, we were working on the Chronic album, and he had just finished laying nowadays everybody want to talk, let the guy something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. And we just kept listening to it back to back to back.
Busta Rhymes said he ended up rewriting his verses after hearing Eminem, impressed by his speed and clever wordplay.
So then M gets the record, and a few months goes by.
Damn.
Then we finally get the call from Paul. I'm coming through to play you something. So Paul comes to the studio, and he plays the M verse. And I got the song in a regular format structure for a radio station. 3 minutes, 8 seconds. But
Yes,
M
sir.
gets on the third verse, and does 42 bars. Yes. I got a problem with this.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
So for me, I'm not even thinking about the consumer yet. I'm thinking about him. I'm like, I'm not going to disappoint him and let him think that what's happening here is going to be this easy.
Right.
There's going to be some challenge now. So I go back and I turn my 216s. I scrapped that and turned my verse into a 50-bar verse.
Go ahead now.
So now me and M scheduled a day to mix the song. It's a snowstorm. We out there. We in the studio with M, 2-3 hours. M in the studio vibing. So about 5-6 hours passed by. And, M heard the verse. And M is like, he's a crazy motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
He's a motherfucker. He's a motherfucker. And I'm like, okay, we gonna mix the record? Nah, we ain't mixing the record. And we not mixing today? Nah, man. I gotta make this little adjustment because I feel like my energy ain't matching yours yet. After about a month and a half, he sends the verse back. And, I played it for the immediate circle and everybody was like, yo, this is it.
Joyner Lucas said he had difficulty getting in touch with Eminem when they worked together, noting that Eminem moves through things like the president.
It started making me realize why Marshall move a certain way. You feel me? Because with that nigga, getting on the phone with him is you could probably hop on the phone with Barack quicker than you could hop on the phone with Marshall. Calling you from a line where his manager, his assistant is calling you from a 1-800 number, and then it's just elevator music, and it's please hold, Marshall's coming to the phone. You can't have his number.
Not that accessible.
Nobody has his number. He's not accessible. You can't talk to him. It's like hopping on the phone with the president, right? And it's I always wondered, why does he move like that? I had a conversation with him on the shoot of The Lucky You. And I was in his trailer, and I'm like, yeah, man, anytime you want to talk or anytime you want to build and whatever, just you can hit me, you know what I'm saying? We could talk and we could build on his music shit, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And it's just I could tell he was really real standoffish, you know what I'm saying? And I would ask Royce, yo, why is he like that? He's like, man, he's just been through a lot of shit. You don't really he's very closed off from people, right? And I'm just like, damn. And I never understood it, right? And it's just when I started, experiencing this shit that I was experiencing, I got it instantly. I'm like, this is why this motherfucker he don't want new friends. He don't want, you feel me? And it's I get it 100%.
And he was the biggest star in the world at one point. So imagine.
He still is. Yeah. You got to drop a album. He's still, he can't just be outside.
Yeah.
He's not the nigga could just be outside like that. You can't just walk the streets of New York. You got, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole thing. He's a big deal.
LL Cool J shared that while working on Murdergram Do with Eminem, they reported their verses separately at Dr. Dre's studio. He laid down his part first, then Eminem listened, wrote his verse, and recorded it, with both meeting in the booth only at the very end.
This next song is a joint I did with Eminem. The last one. Murdergram. It's called Murdergram Do. I had a song on Mama Said Knock You Out called Murdergram. So I said, you know what? We're gonna do a song together. And when Q-Tip made the beat, I was sitting there and he was going, he was playing that beat. I was like, yo, Tip, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, me and M would be crazy on here. He's like, yeah, definitely, big bro. I said, so I hit M, I call M, I'm like, yo, I think I got a joint. He's like, oh, he sent it to me. So I sent him the song just to hear the beat. Once he heard the beat and he agreed to do it, then we went in the studio. And what we actually did was, me and M actually went to Dr. Dre's studio and recorded it out in LA. We went together in the studio. And the way the process is I would write my rhyme.
Okay.
Right? Then I would lay it. Then I would leave. He would come in. He would hear it. I would leave. He would write his rhyme. He would record. I would and we went back and forth in the booth without seeing each other record until we did the very last thing together where I kind of come together with him a little bit, with the Veni Vidi Vici, stomp him and making them bonkers. There's one line where I came in the room and we kind of worked out the last part.
Yeah!